Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how to make this very cute A2 gatefold card using the new cat puppet. So you can see inside here, when you open up the card, pull the tab and you've got this cute little cat. And it all displays really nicely with the belly band there. I've got this lovely topper and you can see all this detail here. I've used my accent glaze. You can see it on the fishbowl there and also on the scratch post. See the sentiments there, and you've got space all on the back to be able to stamp and write your message. So let me show you how to make it. So this is the A2 mechanism set. So you get 3 dice. You get your main plate, which has your slot and your 4 holes. You get your pull tab and you get your arrow there as well. So I've already cut the main plate there using 300 GSM card, keeping this one white so the cat really does stand out. And then with the pull tab, you want to cut that twice. Again, I've used the same 300 GSM cardstock, just so you've got a nice strong tab there. And then I've just stuck the arrow on the top. If you've got my Push Me Pull You action stamp set, you could stamp the word pull as well. That will fit in there. So in most of the tutorials for these new pets, I've been trying to show you how to use them on different shaped cards. So this one's going to be on a gatefold. So I've cut myself here a piece of card that is 8.5 by 5.5. And along the 8.5 side, you want to score at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. Fold those over and we've got our little A2 gatefold. And then the excess, I've just cut that down to 1 inch, and that's going to be the belly band. So for the decoration, I've decorated these pieces here. There is the paper pad that we launched with the collection, but I thought it'd be nice to stamp the images that come in the die sets. This just gives you another idea on what you can do with them. So I've stamped the inside the set here. You've got all the dies, which I'll talk you through in a moment, but you've got all these stamps here. So I've just taken the fish bowl and the little scratch pole there, or scratch post, stamped them at the bottom. The sentiment I'm using is Happy Fur Day to my favourite person. And then I've used the little footprints there. So they're going to go on each side inside. And then for the outside, I've used my cloud stencil, which was from my Whatever the Weather set, and that's going to go on the front. And then I've got this topper, which I think looks fab, and that's going to go on the front. Again, I'll talk you through all of that, but if you want to decorate the sides like I have, you need to cut yourself 4 pieces of 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to stick all of those down. So they're all stuck down, and then I've also got this piece which I'm going to add to the back, so I've got somewhere to stamp and write my message. And this piece here is 4 by 5 1/4. So leave that all to one side. Now we can build the cat. So I like to lay all of my dies out so it looks like a cat. So you've got the head, the ears, the face, the whiskers, so everything that you need for that portion. You've got the collar, arms, you've got the body, the tail, legs, and then these are just all of your icons. Oh, they're the feet. And then, yeah, you've got your mouse, the bowls, little play stick there, bell, fish scales, which is a good one as well. And that's the little tongue there as well. Some of them are tiny, but if you lay them out like that, and I always count my dies when I put them back in, so there's 29 dies. That's classed as 1 die. So yeah, just make sure you count them all. So use your image here as a reference and a guide to where everything goes. It's all shaded in different colours there, so you can easily see all of the pieces. So you can see that light circle there. You see the tongue, the nose, everything is all laid out for you, even the little middle parts of the ears there. So I've gone for ginger cat. So I've just done all these different shades of orange. So I've got my body here, and I've just used a darker ink just to ink up the edges. Actually, I have this up, so it needs to be that way up. There we go. So I'll cut the body, and then I've cut this part in a lighter colour, and that's going to go up there. Okay. Then I've cut his legs again in that lighter colour, and his arms there. Okay. And then for his paws, I've gone back to that darker orange, like so. And you'll see some of the dies are stencil, so you can see in here when you die cut it, keep it in the die and then use an ink and a little sponge and just dab your colour over and it will transfer onto the card, and then you can just rinse that under the tap. Same with the little bowl here. That's a stencil there, so you can create some more detail. I think actually it's that way around, like so. And then his head, so the main one there, and then you've got this detail, which is this one here. I've cut the tail, that will just stick behind this part of the body, and you can trim it down. This does work on the 6x6, the 5x7 and the A2 size. So the A2 you'll probably have to hide that a little bit more. On your 6x6, 5x7 you can have more of it showing. I've got some fish scales there. I've got the collar, which we'll add later. And then this bit here is this round part here. You want it so that the little dip is facing the top, like so. And then his ears on there and on there. So it'll be that way, I think. There we go. And then for the inside detail, I've been using my pickup tool a lot with these puppets. It's really handy with the little wax heads there. They just pick up these pieces so well. And then we've got all of the face detail. So I've cut that one in like a creamy colour. Got a little brown nose, which I'll probably put some of my accent glaze on. The tiny little tongue, which again's got some stencil detail there. I just added a little ink to the edge. You'll see as well that it's got this kind of shape at this end. That shape will fit in that section there if I just pop it in, so it's easier to show than to say. So you'll see it fits right in there. Again, once the glue's there, it's gonna obviously make more sense, but you can see that there. And then you've got the eyes and there, and then his pupils. And then I'll probably use some of my gel pen as well to add a little bit more detail onto there. And then for the whiskers, I've used vellum, but I think what I'm going to do is just tuck it slightly under this part, because yeah, maybe I'll do that, because you do see the glue, but I think I might do some tiny little black dots and that might disguise the glue. We'll see. I've got another arrow there, so maybe I was then deciding to do blue. I'll see. The blue might actually pop a bit more in against that, so I'll leave that all there. Okay, so that's how you need to have everything laid out, and then just add a tiny little bit of glue to attach the feet, like so. And there. I'm just going to pop those and those to one side. We'll be using those first in a minute. And then you can pop this up on some foam. There's already dimension in the card with the brads, so you might not want to keep adding more, but my box envelopes work brilliantly with lots of my dimensional cards. I am going to be doing an A2 size box envelope because I haven't got one yet, so that will come shortly. But by adding a little bit of dimension, you just get that drop shadow, just gives it a bit more depth. And then let's stick these onto the ears, and then take this part, stick it onto the face. I think it looks a little bit like a chick. You were to do that in yellow, you've got a little chick there. And as I always say, you can play around with these puppets and turn them into other animals. And then I'm going to add a little thin piece of glue along the bottom there. And the position of the ears is up to you. You could have them more round to the side. I think then you can it looks a little bit like a bat. If you were to do these all in black. In fact, the cat will be brilliant for Halloween. A black cat. I think that will look fab. Use my spooky papers as the background. Look really cool. Again, just try and get them lined up. So this one positioned, so kind of near the bottom there. And then I'm going to stick this one down. So you want this one, so it just lines up with the top there. And then when you get to the really small pieces, I like to just add a little glue onto my mat there and use like the tip of my tweezers, and I can just add a little glue into that area there. Add the little tongue there. You can use your fine tip glue applicators as well. I just always get them clogged up, so I just do this now. And then add the nose like so. I just hold that up so you can see everything. I'll probably put some glaze on the tongue there as well as the nose. Hopefully you can see all of that. And then the pupils of the eyes. Again, I've said this in all the videos with the puppets, where you position these parts will change the expression of your character. So you can, you know, have it looking a little bit crazy. You could have one pupil up to the left and one looking down to the right. So if you put them both looking into the middle, that can look quite funny. So play around with it. I'm just going to pop those two there for the minute. And like I said, I'm going to use my gel pen at the end. And that's fine. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the edge there. And then again, like so. Then we've got his face. And then with the collar, this will wrap kind of under his head, you see. So it's probably best if you stick the head down first, and then maybe just, I'm just trying to think what's going to be easiest to trim, because you want to get that head attached onto the body there, like so. And then what I might do is stick it down and then possibly trim some off the edges, we'll see, and then just lay that down. I think I might just trim a little bit off the edges. All I did with that is I cut it in brown and I cut it in gold, and I just snipped off the ends on the gold piece and just stuck the centre on there, so you got that shine. But I think I'm just going to flip this over and just snip off the edge there. Okay, so leave the cat and the tail to one side. You next want the legs and the arms and the paw tab here, and 8 brads. You want the 5mm brads. 8mm brads are just too thick. I'll link them below. And what you're going to do is the outer holes on all of these are going to attach to the 4 holes here. So just take one of your brads, pop it through like so. Okay, and then if you open this up, just like all my other, whenever I use the brads, I like to use a pokey tool and then just to fold it over, and this way you'll get a much freer movement. You see there, moves really, really nicely. And then again, just pop your brad through that outer hole and then through there again, open it up and just use your pokey tool there. Okay, just repeat that for the legs. Now you should have all of those limbs moving really freely. Take this one and you're going to take your other brad now and pop it through the other hole, and then pop it through the hole on here. You also want to thread that through at the same time. Don't worry if you forget. I've forgotten most of the videos, to be honest. You can still just bend it round and fit it in. But the good thing is with this is that if you put one in the wrong hole or positioning, you don't like it, you can just undo the brad. They're really, really easy. So you can see I've attached that one, and now just do a test. You'll see how easy that works. So just repeat that now on the others. Okay, so now just give it all a good test. That's all moving nicely. So now we need to attach the cat. So I've been using my foam pads here, and you just want to cut some strips, and then I just fold the strip in half or cut it in half like so, and then take the backing off. So you want it doubled up. We need to match the height of the brads here. So you want to make sure this is down, but I've just realized with the A2 you need to bring the feet up a little bit more. Can you see they're going over the edge? Because in order for these to work across all of the sizes, there are a few things you might have to adapt. So I'm just going to snip that bit off there because you're not going to see that. And then add your glue. So you just want to make sure that when that's down, that his foot is in there as well, like so. Still all looks as good. Okay, so that's all back where it needs to be. So again, keep that all down, and then you're going to add your foam in between the arms and the legs, and just check that when they go down, that can go all the way down, which it just about can. I might have to move that up a little bit closer to the arm. There we go. That's better. So you see all of that can move and it's not touching that foam. So again, take this one, just fold it in half. Just position that the same. That works fine. And then you're going to cut another strip and stick it above the slot there. And that's going to support the head. So now we can take the cat here, and you want to position the bottom so it just covers the bottom there, and then all the rest will line up. Just stick that down over the foam. And now we have our cute moving little cat. Adorable. So now with the tail, you just want to make sure it stays within that space. Otherwise it's, you know, it won't fit in your envelope. So it's going to just stick directly onto the card there. So I'm just going to add my glue like so. I want it to go under the arm there. So it won't affect the mechanism because you're sticking it right onto the card. So now we can stick it inside the gatefold. So I'm just going to run some foam down here, here, and right down through the middle. And then just position this in the middle of the card. So you've got a nice even border. Again, just check everything works fine. And that all closes up. Like I said, there is some dimension there, but it will all still wrap nicely with the belly band. So then I'm going to just wrap this around. I don't need all of this. I've just trimmed off a little bit from that end and also from that end. And then I'm just going to add some glue here and then wrap that over. And just hold that there for a second. So for the topper, I've just die cut 2 circles from my stash, and then I've die cut the mouse in orange and then again in gold, and I've just paper pieced the gold into the ear. I cut the pole and the catnip here in gold and again in white, and I just snipped off the gold piece here and just stuck that on top, and then stamped the ball of yarn there, stamped the Sentiment Crazy Cat Lady, and just layered it all up. So that is now going to go on there. But again, I do like to use my foam. This kind of card I would probably end up hand delivering. And then I can just place that over the top. How cute's that? And then just make sure that all slides off nicely, and then you can just kind of burnish the sides a bit better. And then inside, I wanted to add that one there. And then let's just see where his legs will fall. Let's do maybe one there. So you can see how that displays open, and you can obviously have then the belly band just there. I think that's such a cute card. It's so sweet. And then I'm just going to add a little glaze onto those and also on the tongue. And then I'm just going to use my jelly rolls. This is the size 10 by Sakura, and I'm just going to add a little white on the eyes there. There we go. So again, you can see there how he all moves. It's a really nice one to personalise. Like I said, you could put someone's name or number on the body there. So it still stands when he's open as well. And then obviously make sure that's pushed down and then close it up. But I'm not going to close it right up because that's drying. But again, you can see how that all looks. And before I forget, I'm going to add that blue arrow because it does stand out more than the orange. So as always, thank you for watching today. I'll have some of my other puppet tutorials coming up now. You might want to watch those next. And I would have shared the playlist as well along the way. All of the product that I've used, as always, is always linked in the description box below. Just click the more and it will expand the drop down and everything will be there. And if you've enjoyed today, please give me a thumbs up because it really does help out the channel. And I'll be back again soon. Take care. Bye.